Hello everybody, this is Jayney Goddard and I'm broadcasting from the Home Office today, and obviously none of us are allowed to go out at the moment. But having said that, I'm not completely alone because I'm joined today by the absolutely amazing CMA member, Katherine Bolton. Now, Katherine is a fabulous practitioner. She does myriad things to keep people well and healthy. And she's going to be sharing various interesting tips and techniques to stay happy, healthy, resilient and robust during COVID-19. However, I want you to stay tuned right to the end because Katherine is going to be sharing her absolutely amazing top tip that we've just been talking about, and I think it's such a great idea that I really do want you to act on it, because I certainly will do as well. So I'm Jayney Goddard, President of the Complementary Medical Association. I'm sure you know all about that, and I just want to remind you to subscribe and to like this video, and also to click the little bell icon so that you're notified each time we upload new videos for you. Now, I also wanted to say that don't forget that you can leave us information about what you would like us to see recording for you, particularly at this time when everybody's really, really challenged. So without further ado, what I want to do is pass things over to our lovely Katherine. And Katherine, if you would like to say hello, and if you can please tell us what it is that you do, and obviously a little bit about your organisation, Pebblemoon.
Hello, Jayney, and thank you for that. So yes, I'm Katherine Bolton. I have a holistic wellbeing centre called Pebblemoon in East Devon, a lovely little place right on the seafront. And I'm finding that during this time, as with a lot of us, we're really having to draw on all our skills and our talents, because most of my treatments have been hands-on or face-to-face, through being able to offer massage, Reiki, reflexology, and also on a counselling level as well. So we're all having to start to dig deep and find different ways to keep in touch with our clients to help support them during this difficult time. But also, as a member of CMA as well, it's helping each other and through that support as well. So it's remembering, even though we might be looking after others, we also need to look after ourselves and our family as well.
I couldn't agree more. I think you're absolutely right, Katherine. So can you tell us a little bit about the way that you actually are working with people? Actually, it'd be quite sensible, I think, to say, how do you work with people normally? How are you working with people to support them now? And how do you see yourself working with them once COVID-19 has gone away and we're all back out into the world? And it will happen because, you know, this is what viruses do. They mutate, they become more virulent, and then they will subside. So, you know, there is hope out there. So if you can just sort of go through those, explain those 3 points, that would be really helpful.
Because where we are now is so completely different to how my normal life is with my clients. I'm very much a hands-on person, with offering the massages, the reflexology, the Reiki. It's very much about people coming into a small sanctuary. I always like to say that at Pebblemoon we turn stress into serenity, and that all comes through from the welcome through the door and just being able to stop that outside world. Now at the moment, obviously my doors are closed, and that has an emotional impact, not just for myself as a therapist, but also for my clients as well. So what I'm finding at the moment is I'm reaching out to them in different ways. I am updating my Facebook page regularly with lots of hints and tips. I'm also creating a database so I can send them out newsletters, not too much, and also it's all about news rather than trying to say buy from me.
Yes.
You know, as a small independent place, I want people to know that I'm there for them now in the good and the bad, and I will still be there for when we can reopen the doors. Simple things like people that have bought gift vouchers, just reassuring them all that I will automatically extend those gift vouchers to beyond, you know, this crisis. And if they want to help a small independent business, they could actually buy vouchers now, so they can still give people that feeling that, yes, once this is over, they can then go and have a nice pampering massage or a different treatment of some kind. I'm personally using this downtime, as I showed you a glimpse into my office a moment ago. It looks quite calm on the top, but actually underneath it's that typical swan of piles of papers everywhere, just so that I can try and keep in touch with a lot of my clients, especially ones where they're going through cancer treatments at the moment. and they have one of my bespoke treatments, which is, we call it stress to serenity, or another one which is mindful to mindful. And it's helping them on a physical, practical level of a massage, also some Reiki, but also some counselling. And at the moment, they're not being able to have their treatments. So I'm finding that I'm offering this service to them, not as a business, and I'm not charging money, but literally just supporting them through the phone calls, through that time of that uncertainty and that unknown. Now, looking ahead, which all of us have to do, I will come back bigger, stronger, and even bouncier. I'm like Tigger at the moment, getting ready to start bouncing around. So I am going to rebrand. I'm using it as the opportunity to create new brochures, update the website, you know, do all those filing and those jobs that we as therapists never seem to have that time to do, because we're always dealing with our clients. So that then when we are able to reopen our doors, big party, get everyone in together, launch some new products, because obviously, like a lot of people, I'm doing some extra courses at the moment and increasing my qualifications. But literally my plans are getting through now, but planning for tomorrow.
I think that's absolutely remarkable. And actually, as you were speaking there, I was thinking, my goodness, I think we all need a Katherine in our lives, because I love the way that I love what the way that you are looking at this crisis. I mean, I don't like to be alarmist, but you know, it is a crisis by want of any other name, really. Or perhaps I like to call it, I think it's better to kind of reframe it as a challenge. But the thing is that, you know, so many people, and I hear this from a lot of practitioners who are contacting the CMA saying, gosh, you know, what do we do? What do we do? And, you know, so our first response has actually been to say, stop, step back, and now look at what you can do to actually capitalize upon this downtime if you have it. Obviously, there are certain practitioners who are not hands-on practitioners, so the homeopaths, the psychoanalysts, the hypnotherapists, and so on. So of course they can carry on a lot of their practice on Skype and Zoom and so on and so forth. But of course it's the hands-on practitioners, much like yourself as well, who really, you know, you've got to shut your doors because you can't actually lay hands on people. So I think what you're doing is absolutely remarkable in capitalizing and not caving in under the pressure. And I've given pep talks to many of the practitioners who've phoned in, and they've actually said, yes, okay, I do see your point. Gosh, yes, I can now see the way forward. And so I think that they will so value hearing this being echoed, what we're saying and the information we're handing down, actually being echoed by a fellow CMA member who's actually looking at it very, very calmly. So before, when we were talking before, you know, and we were talking about getting this discussion set up, Katherine, you did say, and you have the most amazing, what I would consider to be an absolutely fantastic top tip, and I'm going to do this because I think it's so absolutely brilliant. Can you share with us your most incredible, well, it's a technique, isn't it? Am I right in saying, for staying psychologically and emotionally resilient and hopeful during COVID-19?
Very much so. And as with most good things, it's always the simple things that are the easiest to do, and also that you can slot into your day as well. So what I would like you to do, and I'm appealing you just to try and see if you can join me and do this, because I'm doing this and I'm getting all my family members to as well, is every day see if you can find 3 good or positive things that have happened. Now, they might just be the tiniest of things. It could be, as we were saying earlier, great, I've actually got all the laundry done. You know, how often in life does that happen? But it could be that you actually see the rainbow after, you know, the rain. You can hear the birds sing. It could maybe even be that you've just had a lovely long chat with a family member that you never normally have time to. So every day, try and come up with at least 3 positive things that you've done, and then write them on a scrap of paper and date it. If you can, even time it as well. And then pop them into either a nice jam jar or a vase or something. So as the days go on and these days turn into weeks, you actually start seeing that jam jar filling up with all those positive ideas, thoughts, and things that have happened. But then the secondary purpose of that is that when you have those times and those moments, which we will all get, when you're feeling a little bit low, a little bit anxious, a little bit, oh gosh, what's next? Dive into that jam jar, pull out at random say 2 or 3 of those little positive ideas and things that have happened, and just read them. And because you've dated them, you'll actually be able to look back and think, oh yeah, oh, on that day, I had that nice conversation with my grandma. Oh my gosh, we talked about this and that. And it can just be a simple thing that can lift you up. But also what you could try and do is, as a family, especially if you're trying to work from home at the moment and you've got children around you, get them to do it as well. Almost make it into a competition as to how many positive things that they can come up with for in their own jam jar. And then if you find that one day that you've really struggled to come up with your own ideas, you can actually look at their jam jars and think, right, my positive thing is I'm seeing their jam jars filling up with all these lovely things that are going on. So let's try and use this as a time to make some memories. You know, we're at home, but we can still make the memories, either by phoning friends and family, writing them a letter. Fill up your jam jar with lots of different positivities.
I think that's absolutely remarkable. It really, truly is. And actually, to me, it echoes a lot of the work that's being done at the university in, trying to think what it is, it's University of California at Berkeley. And they have a centre where they research happiness, resilience and gratitude and so on. And they have a technique called 3 Good Things. But I prefer the way that you are talking about it. Essentially what you're doing is you know, very, very well researched by them, but actually creating this jam jar, it makes it something very visible and you can actually see it filling up rather than writing in a book. One of the things I talk about is actually literally writing down your 3 good things every day. And the research is very, very powerful for this, isn't it? It does actually show that it does increase your happiness set point. A lot of people think, oh, well, everybody's allocated a certain level of happiness and you don't go up much higher than that, but actually it's not true, is it? You can actually really increase your levels of ability to be happy, and this is one of the really proven techniques. So thank you so much for sharing.
Sometimes it takes longer to find those moments, but then when you can actually find 3 positive things in a day where it really is a struggle, to me they're even more precious.
I couldn't agree more. I think you're absolutely right. And thank you so, so much. So what I just wanted to say is, can you just tell everybody how they can get hold of you, your website and other details? And of course, we will also write it all down for our viewers underneath in the notes, in the show notes underneath this video as well. But if you'd just like to explain that to people, how best to go about contacting you, that'd be wonderful.
Thank you, Jayney. So I'm Katherine Bolton. I have Pebblemoon Holistic Wellbeing Centre in Seaton, Devon. So if you just type into the search engine Pebblemoon and Seaton, you should find either the website or Facebook or any other ways that you can follow me. And on my website, because I'm also a yoga teacher and meditation tutor, I've also uploaded a lot of free videos for you so you can watch. And some of these tips that I've incorporated now are also within there.
Do you know something? I looked at some of your videos yesterday, and some of your meditations are so luscious. It's just your voice. It's just the way that you come across. I have to say, everybody, please check Katherine's website out, and her meditations absolutely amazing. So let's wrap it up there. We don't want to take up too much of your time, but thank you so much for being with us, everybody. And Katherine, thank you so much for being with us today. It's been absolutely so helpful and amazing. Really wonderful. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.